Call of Duty is easily one of the most well-known gaming franchises in the world. Anyone with even a passing interest in the gaming space has at least heard of Call of Duty, and yet the overwhelming sentiment in reaction to Black Ops 7 was negative to say the least. So what happened? At its core, I think Call of Duty is suffering from an identity crisis. The first three Call of Duties took place in World War II, Modern Warfare, and up to Black Ops 2 brought the game into the modern era, and all of these games had one thing in common. The identity of Call of Duty as a realistic military shooter was always intact. There may have been some gadgets or guns that walked the line between sci-fi and reality, but COD was still grounded at this point. Fast forward to Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, and we've officially entered the era of COD with exosuits, wall running, specialists with weapons straight out of Star Trek or some cartoon. The identity of Call of Duty as a realistic military shooter started to degrade. The quality of the games just weren't the same either. Maps were worse, with Call of Duty Ghosts seeing universal hate. The jump into full-on sci-fi futurism left Call of Duty fans yearning for the grounded and gritty combat of COD's past. So what came next in World War II should have been a step in the right direction, literally revisiting the roots of the first two games, but that just wasn't the case. Some terrible maps, awful gunplay, explosives, and equipment that were borderline useless, all on top of the normal issues that come with pigeonholing yourself into a specific time period. World War II was seen as an overcorrection and yet another step backwards for the series. Black Ops 6 was honestly a fun COD game. Gunplay felt good, the maps weren't bad, and it was the first generally positive COD release in years. But a whole new problem has been introduced that once again chips away at Call of Duty's identity: skins. Nicki Minaj, Beavis and Butthead, American Dad, and these weird cel-shaded skins that look out of place in the otherwise realistic art style of the game. The Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty is something none of the fans want and only contributes to the whole thing feeling like a joke now. Call of Duty is a business and microtransactions make a ridiculous amount of money. But when they aren't tasteful, when your cosmetics are created with AI, when the skins don't fit the overall theme of your game, and your gritty, realistic military shooter turns into Beavis and Butthead hitting finishers on Nicki Minaj mid-match, who could blame the majority of the player base for feeling like the game they signed up for, the game they expect, just doesn't exist anymore? Now we come to the Black Ops 7 trailer, which has a ridiculous like to dislike ratio, and a majority of the top comments are calling it an advertisement for Battlefield 6. Not only will the same skin problem persist, but they brought back Menendez, the guy whose story arc was completed over a decade ago, the guy whose voice actor passed away in 2023 from cancer. They care so little about Black Ops 7 that they couldn't even bother coming up with an original villain for the storyline. Call it nostalgia bait or fan service, whatever camp you fall into, the fact of the matter is it's lazy, and fans have noticed. Call of Duty has often been called too big to fail, and maybe that's true, but unless they pull off a miracle with Black Ops 7 and win their fans back over, the once thriving community will continue to dwindle, the identity of Call of Duty will continue to degrade, and once they create a game so saturated with regurgitated and repeated enemies, Drake, Usher, Adventure Time Fortnite skins, and a microtransaction store filled to the brim with AI slop, there won't be any more fans left to piss off, and then maybe they'll get the point, maybe they'll learn the lesson, but it will be too late. Call of Duty in its current state deserves to fail, and it's looking like that's the direction the franchise is heading in. But how do you feel about COD? Do you still play it? If so, why? Follow for more, and thank you so much for watching.